Hello, folks. I didn't want to have to make a political video, but we know the climate of our country is divided, and it's no joke that the GOP in Delaware was almost divided. Many of you know land developer Mark Schaeffer pulled off a political upset in Sussex County District 3 against longtime car salesman I.G. Burton back in September. That was a tightly watched race in all of Delmarva because obviously it's one peninsula. Delaware's problems become Maryland's problems. Maryland's problems become Delaware's problems. It's typical Delmarva. If you're not used to it like I've been since 2009, then, you know, what else is new? But we all thought that it was a winner take all. Mark Schaeffer had beaten I.G. Burton. Turns out, I've been noticing a lot of Schaeffer ads on WBOC in the past couple of weeks, and I got worried. I'm thinking, there's no way there's a writing candidate. And then I find out tonight, and we'll play the video from the newscast tonight. But before we get to the video, I want to read the two articles I got from WBOC, and I'll also want to talk to you about this long overdue plan that DelDOT approved in 2018 called the 5-Point Plan. There's been a lot of politics about it. I know Mark, in the past couple of weeks since he's won and beaten IG, he's been very vocal about it, and I'm glad that we have somebody in Delaware who wants to finally get that second lane on 24 that a lot of people have been complaining about over the years between Lewis on Route 1 and 113 in Millsboro, because Millsboro is a business district in Delaware. And also, don't forget, you have the correctional facility, but that's a whole different story. But we will get into this candidate named Patricia Drago. And out of all the things I've heard in Delaware, this woman who is writing herself in as a Democrat, first of all, she's from Brooklyn. Yeah, Brooklyn. Out of all places. You know, I'm a New Yorker thinking of moving to Delaware, and, you know, currently right now I'm also a Worcester County resident in Ocean City. But, you know, to think that, you know, again, I just said in the open, you know, this could be a problem. This could be a problem. So, obviously, we knew what happened with I.G. Burton, the car salesman, and Schaeffer beat Burton by 44 votes. Now, obviously, nobody ran for the Democrats, which you would think a person like this should have ran months ago, not leaving the Democrats in an open area. Now, obviously, Drago, she's not politically unaffiliated, but she is supporting Joe Biden. Well, we know Schaeffer is Republican. We don't know who he's supporting. He hasn't openly said it. But that's not when I look about it when I look at Mark Schaeffer. I look at Mark Schaeffer as someone who knows the peninsula very well. I have personally given him a phone call. And why is this refreshing? You know, I don't get that. But I want to mention that, Mark, I brought up my concern with the 24 with the two lanes. I'll show you how dangerous 24 gets on Street View, because it is a very unpleasant experience. I'll tell you that right now. And I want to make sure my OBS is on mute, because that would be unprofessional. She's claiming, oh, I want to give voters a chance to write me in. I get all that, but A lot's at stake if we don't get this 5-point project done. Mark has understood that since he's won. Mark is, again, a land developer, knows our peninsula very well. Obviously, he knows the whole county. I told him that I've had stress over the years trying to do my leisure in Seaford. It's been very unpleasant. And again, you think, why would you go to Delaware? I will say this, Delaware has some good restaurants. I don't want to go to the chains in Salisbury all the time. It gets me sick. So I have to go to Delaware, of course. And, the other issue is this plastic bag thing. I hope Denrec is going to stop that. And by the way, I think you have until, next week to talk about the plastic bag ban. In fact, hang on. Can I pull it up? I'll bring it up if I missed the hearing on it last week, because I was going to complain to Denrec last week that, look, it's inappropriate to be banning these plastic bags. I will get into it. Put it over here, and we'll discuss that. So, according to Drago, all she had to do was file as a writing candidate a simple one-page form, have her residency verified by the elections commissioner in Sussex County, and create a campaign committee. So, I'm sorry, but she, on WBOC, didn't sound enthusiastic about the 5-point plan. Unlike when I spoke to Mark on the phone, and, he has his number out there, but I'm not going to give it out due to privacy reasons unless Mark wants me to. And if he does see this video, I'll update the description within the week, because we got to get the vote out. I want to mention to my viewers in Delaware, there is no early voting, so you have to do absentee, which I forget when the deadline was. I know Maryland, we started the early voting on Monday. We did early voting on Monday. So, that ends on Sunday. I know that. And I'm not worried about Maryland, I'm not worried about Sheriff and Worcester. I'm not worried about, any of the other offices. That's not for another 2 years. I can worry about that then, because 2018 was a whole different story, but Schaeffer's going to keep campaigning through Election Day. That's very good. Again, a lot of work to do. Mark has told me, do all you can, and that's why I'm doing this video, because I think a lot of people in Sussex really aren't aware of what's gonna be on the ballot on Tuesday. There's gonna be people confused in Sussex County who go to their polling place on Tuesday, and they're gonna wonder, nobody told us that we could write in a candidate. So now, this could be very interesting. So, when did Drago get in? That's what I'm wondering, when Patty Drago came in. Patty Drago entered the race literally a week after the primary. Wow. So you can't make this stuff up. This is something that Matt Camper from Camper News always talks about. But, okay. This is interesting. How in the world has a writing candidate spent $70,000? Okay, I get that Schaeffer is a blue-collar guy. Okay, I get that. I understand that. And Mark, again, does care about, us in Maryland, too. He wants us to come to Delaware. So, bottom line is, I'm doing all I can for my viewers in Sussex County, Delaware, to pay attention to this. I rarely talk about issues in the peninsula. But this is one of those rare instances where I have to talk about this, because we could be at risk of losing the 5-point project. We could be at risk of losing that second lane we deserve on 24, and DelDOT can finally budge. So anything else before I can play the video? I do have the video. Okay, I'm not surprised she's putting ads in the Cape Gazette. I'm not surprised. Why aren't I surprised about that? Okay. Right, once again. Yes, I completely agree. You know, remember, in Sussex, they don't have a county police. They go town by town and municipality by municipality. So, Seaford, for example, they have a police department. Rehoboth Beach, they have a police department. Lewes, they have a police department. So on, so on. Delaware is different like that. They don't go by county. They do have a Delaware State Police. And I will mention one time, my dad made a little bit of an epic fail one time, and it was his fault. We were in Smyrna one day, and my dad didn't realize he had the automatic headlight feature on. And in Delaware, they take that seriously, by the way. You gotta have your headlights on. Like, they could ticket you for that. He found out the hard way, but we were let off. Because, you know, Dad made a crazy mistake that time in Smyrna. But, you know, it's a serious situation. You know, a lot of people aren't going to, you know... And also keep in mind, on election night in September, you know, we almost didn't find out the winner until the next day. Because I.G. Burton was leading. That's how close this was. It could be another situation where Mark Schaeffer has another I.G. Burton situation to deal with. So, again, I know I wanted I.G. to win. Because, again, I.G.'s the experienced guy. I get all that. But, you know, as I said, I've been impressed with Mark since he's won. I've been closely following his campaign the past couple of weeks. And what I'm going to do right now, let's watch the news report from WBOC.
Election day now 5 days away. WBOC continuing to profile some local races. Tonight, we take a closer look at Sussex County Council's 3rd district race. Republican candidate Mark Schaeffer defeated incumbent I.G. Burton in a close primary and looked to take the seat unopposed. But Patty Drago launched a write-in campaign with only 6 weeks until Election Day. WBOC's Kyle Johnson spoke with both candidates about their plans for District 3.
Sussex County's 3rd district is shaping up to be one of the most unique races in Delaware. Republican hopeful Mark Schaeffer has over 40 years of experience in land use and says he will focus on protecting rural areas and improving infrastructure.
I feel very strongly that we can do a better job of preventing sprawl into our farmlands, in fixing our roads, and helping solve all the congestion we have on our roadways.
Patty Drago moved to Delaware in 2014 after serving as president of a Brooklyn-based insurance company. When she decided to enter as a write-in candidate, she wanted to preserve the lifestyle that she fell in love with.
I will focus on our quality of life and the issues that affect that to maintain what's so great about Sussex County, and at the same time also focus on community resiliency and to help fix the things that are not going so great.
Both candidates see how much Sussex is developing and hope their plans to develop smartly will earn votes.
We just implemented a transportation improvement district on the Route 24 corridor. We need to also do that on Route 1 around the 5 Points area. We need to get that going immediately. We need to repair those intersections so that they're usable for our people. We need to also require developers to make improvements to roads before development occurs, not after.
Because of all the development we've had here, Sussex has contributed a significant amount of money to the state for off-site traffic impacts, and yet I don't believe we get our fair share. My approach would be to work hard with other council members and DelDOT outside of the Henlope and Transportation Improvement District and find ways to make sure that our fair share of those state funds come back to us.
With less than a week to go, Mark Schaeffer and Patty Drago are geared up for the final push. Kyle Johnson, WBOC News, Delmarva's news leader.
Okay, so now let's talk about the 5-point transportation plan. Let's zoom out for a second. I want to make sure I get this right, because the last thing we need is a big hiccup. There we go. Let's just center this. Okay, so the 5-point transportation study, it was approved by Governor John Carney a couple years ago. It was also approved by DelDOT. So we're going to get into a couple of the ideas that I think Mark should definitely look into, because this is serious. So this is only phase 1. There might be a phase 2, if I can even find it. Okay, so I don't really have a phase 2 PDF. Oh, okay, so I'm looking at DelDOT's website on a different tab. Implementation plan with working group support and involvement began in early 2019, but that never happened. So obviously, because of COVID, thankfully we've had enough time to delay this. But, the longer we delay this, and especially, hopefully Schaeffer does win on Tuesday, we can get this project done. Because time is running out. And by the way, keep in mind, guess who was a part of the phase 1? Sussex County Councilman I.G. Burton. So I was trying to get this done with him too. So there you have it. Okay, so I don't want to read anything more, but I want to get into yeah, I remember they did have hearings back in 2017. I did remember that. Okay, so I'm not really going to go into the whole thing, but let's go into some specifics. Okay. Grade separating crossings between Drago and Luca. I don't want to look into that. Okay, here we go. So, study the feasibility of increasing the proposed Route 24 bypass of Middlesboro from 1 lane in each direction to 2 lanes. So we're going to start off with Food Lion in Ocean City, in North Ocean City, where I live. My second residence, okay? Because remember, I'm in New York City all the time. But remember, I'm also legally an Ocean City, Maryland resident. Even though I'm not affiliated to vote or anything like that down there. Imagine trying to mail back another absentee ballot. Oh boy, that'd be a headache. Yep. So I want to show you how crazy things get in the peninsula, okay? Things do get crazy. I can take 54 to get back to 113. Here's the problem. It would take longer for me to get back. So why would I want to waste more time? Exactly. So, we eliminate 54. What about 20? I have taken 20 all the way to Seaford, and it's not the best of experience. I'll tell you that right now. Not the best. I have done it before. And the issue is, every time I've had to make the left here at Wawa, I told Mark this, waiting for this long light, it is such a headache. Right here. I hate this left turn light. I'm glad DelDOT separated it a long time ago. But you have to wait a long time to make this left. It's such a headache. So I'm hoping, and this is the next problem I have on 24. Now, thank goodness we have another Harris Teeter. That's not the point. The point is, why should I have to take 113 all the time when I'm clearly in North Ocean City and I should be taking Route 1 up here, going here, and then saving a little bit of more time if I cut through this way. Look, I'll show you this. We could make this 2 lanes. That would be great. That would be wonderful to have 24 2 lanes. But when I hear Patricia Drago, I don't hear any enthusiasm. I don't. I really don't. Okay. Adding through lanes and plantation roads. Because look, there are a couple issues with these roads. We're seeing a population boom in Sussex, and that's important. That is important. Endorse, don't block the box legislation. Okay. Alright, so anything... Study alternatives to both meter and slow southbound traffic approaching 5 points. Okay. So I'll Google the 5 points. See if we can pull it up. I'd have to look it up. That doesn't help me. Google it. Here we go. So, let's read this again. Okay. I think I know what they're talking about. I know the 5 points now. So, 5 points is pretty much a junction. All these roads right here. You got 9, goes to the ferry. You got 1, which goes to Rehoboth Beach. You got all the other rural roads. So, I don't know what this part even means. It confuses me. Study alternatives to slow meter and slow southbound traffic. Okay. I agree with this. Poor drainage areas. Yeah, that needs to be addressed. Because I've been saying for years in Kent, they got to improve that. But in Sussex, that has to be looked at too. This is Sussex problem, not Kent. Let me see what else I can read here. So I am in some agreement with this. Again, that will have to be discussed, slow southbound. Now, again, if Mark wins, I'm going to have a further talk. Because that part confuses me. He'd be better at explaining it. Or IG would be better at explaining it than I could. Because I know how people complain about traffic in the area, especially when the tourists come in. Which, again, I'm going to have to look into that. But remember, I'm one of the locals. I go to Rehoboth a lot from Ocean City. I go to Sussex a lot. Okay. Let's see what else I can look at. Emergency vehicle access. Bike parking. Good luck with that. I don't know how that's going to work. Maybe in Rehoboth Beach. Okay, I agree with this idea. Use an app to warn people of congestion on Route 1 and recommend alternative routes. Because, again, you have the tourist. who go to Rehoboth Beach. And the problem is, what other alternatives you could take to get to 113 or 13 to avoid the traffic? Another thing I agree with, tourism-oriented destination signs. That needs to be done. How are you supposed to tell people what's nearby? Like, oh, Wawa's nearby. Royal Farms is nearby. That could be useful for the tourist. Oh, coming up ahead, Rehoboth Beach, restaurant options. IHOP is near you, a couple miles ahead. That could be useful for an example. And remember, no sales tax in Delaware. That's a benefit. Okay, another good idea. 4 lanes on Route 9. So that's 2 lanes each way. Okay. Okay. Determine if a traffic signal is also warranted somewhere on Route 9. Alright, that makes sense. Del standards. Well, you know who we're going to have to discuss this with as well, and I have to tell Mark about this. The innovation officer at Del Veronica Vanterpool, who, by the way, was a former MTA board member in New York. So, a lot of New York influence is going into Delaware lately. You don't think people from New York are moving to Delaware. There's a boom of New Yorkers moving to Delaware. You just don't see it yet. I'm one of the New Yorkers who went to Maryland because the tax incentives and the condo fees were low when my dad bought our property. Okay, what else? Anything else? Okay. Improve lane markings and signs that identify intersections. Alright, so that makes sense to me. Your speed at Route 1 in Nassau Road. Acceleration lane on Coastal Highway. Okay, that makes sense. Always stop sign at Beaver Dam Road and Kendall Road. Okay, again, I'm not familiar with that part. Biking. I don't want to get into biking. But anything about bike lanes? Okay. Study the visibility of a hop-on, hop-off van jitney service loop for Lewis, similar to free service in Cape May. Alright, that's not a bad idea. You do... I guess for people who bring their bike onto the Cape May Lewis Ferry, that would make sense. Anything else? Park and ride along 24. Yeah, I think they probably want to put something like that in Lewis. Because again, I'm just looking at some of these ideas. I mean, this was a long... I remember first reading this. It's just been a while since I looked at it. Okay. Anything else? New road connecting Route 1 north of 5 Points in the 5... Well, again, Route 9 really doesn't help me, because it kind of gets me out of the way trying to get to Seaford. And I have taken Route 9 from Lewes to numerous times. I hate the circle. Seaford, it's been a headache. Yeah, so I think that wraps up the plan. Gives you an idea. But give you an idea of, again, where we were. And again, I'm not going to give you where I exactly live. I'm just going to give you an idea that I'm by Food Lion. I'm by Food Lion in North Ocean City. So, what I'm going to do is this. My bad. Didn't mean to do that. Whoops. Let's do the Walmart in Seaford. There we go. Okay. So in order for me to get there, look at this. I would much rather prefer to take 24. Cut across one, cut across that way. I'll show you. See? I'd rather prefer to go this way. I add a few extra minutes, but I don't care. I'd rather be on a 2-lane highway. I have no need to go this way. Why would I need to go this way? To get to Walmart. Exactly. I'm only going to Walmart in that area to avoid the sales tax. Oh, this is the one I meant to use. My bad, folks. Happens to the best of us. It had me in New York. But that's a whole different story. Okay, last order of business. I want to talk to you about the plastic bag ban from Denrec. So if you're not aware what's going on here, Delaware is supposed to start banning plastic bags on January 1st. So I want to make you aware that you can still publicly comment on the website. So I'll leave this in the description below. I want you to be vocal about your opinion. Are you against the plastic bag ban? Are you for it? Once again, I'm against it because I shop a lot in Delaware to avoid the sales tax. And this is a big flip of the Charlie to people in Maryland. This is a big flip to us. We do not deserve to get treated like this. To just shop in Delaware. If you want a plastic bag, we want a plastic bag. I feel very insulted by this. Thank goodness they're taking public comments till November 5th. But they do have a transcript of what happened. Just wish there was a video. Oh, look at this! My public comments made it on here. Let's read my public comments. Okay. So I will read my public comment, and I might as well just disclose my building. All right. So what I said was, I am a part-time resident of Ocean City, Maryland, and I reside in the Capri. Me and my parents go to Harris Teeter in Fenwick Island because we like the variety of food there. I'll try to read it again. We like the variety of food they have. This plastic bag ban is not necessary, and for me being in New York full-time, this is already hard enough. I was not able to go to Delaware this year because of the pandemic. Now, as I try to return to the first state, I will not be able to get a plastic bag while shopping. Please reconsider this ban because a lot of low-income and disabled people's lives will be made difficult. Okay, so that's what I put. We need more people to be vocal right now because we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 12 people. 12 people right now. So, please, I am asking you to be vocal. Please, I'm just saying, you have until November 5th to give your comments. So again, I will leave the link for DenRec in the description below. So I'll have to edit out a couple things because my email address and phone number were there. I don't really want to leak out my email address and phone number, but it's in the PDF. If you're in Delaware or if you're in Maryland or anywhere in the peninsula, you can reach out to me those ways. I appreciate it. Once again, if you are in Sussex, considering Mark Schaeffer, please, I'm asking you nicely, we need this project to get done with the 5-point. Please, they've been debating it now for years. It needs to get done, and Mark is going to be vocal about it. So, with that, thank you all for watching. Until the next one, please take care.